If you've ever found yourself yelling just to get your child to listen, I want you to know something. You're not alone. And you're not broken. You're simply carrying too much, with too little guidance. I used to be the same way. And one morning, after my son threw his books across the living room and shouted, "I hate school," I remember standing there, frozen between anger and heartbreak. I loved my child more than anything. So why did raising him feel like a never-ending battle? I didn't find the answer until something unexpected happened during a trip to Japan. I was in a small supermarket when a little girl dropped her snack onto the floor. She looked terrified, the way kids do when they expect to be scolded. But instead of snapping, her mother gently knelt down, wiped her hands, and whispered, "It's okay, let's be more careful next time." No threats, no punishment, not even a sigh of frustration. And the little girl, she apologized on her own. Softly, respectfully, naturally. Something inside me cracked open. It wasn't the girl's behavior that struck me. It was the mother's calm. The connection between them. The way discipline seemed to grow from love, not fear. A way rooted in calmness, connection, and emotional wisdom. And that moment sent me searching for the why. Why Japanese children behave so well, and how their parents guide them without yelling or punishment. And that journey led me to these 7 secrets, which I'll share with you now. Before we go any further, please stay until the end, because the final secret, the 7th one, is the golden key. Without it, everything else falls apart. With it, every other principle suddenly works. It's the heartbeat of Japanese parenting, refined over hundreds of years. The first secret: children learn emotional regulation from your calm, not their willpower. A little Japanese boy, maybe 4 years old, was having a full meltdown near a train station. He was screaming, kicking, refusing to move. People were walking by. The world was rushing, but his mother didn't look embarrassed or angry. She slowly bent down to his level, stayed close, and said just one sentence. "I'm right here. Take your time." She didn't grab his arm. She didn't threaten him. She didn't try to talk him out of his feelings. She just stayed calm. And then something incredible happened. His crying didn't stop instantly, but it started to soften. His breathing slowed. His body relaxed. It was like his nervous system was borrowing hers. That's when I realized, this wasn't just gentle parenting, or a nice attitude. This was biology. Children's nervous systems are still under construction. Their emotional brain, the part that explodes when they're overwhelmed, develops much earlier than the part that controls logic and self-control. So when a child is in a tantrum, they literally can't calm down by willpower alone. But their brain is wired to do something powerful. It syncs with the adult they're attached to. When we are tense, their body tenses more. When our voice gets louder, their brain reads danger, and their meltdown escalates. But when we stay steady, slow breathing, soft tone, grounded presence, their nervous system begins to mirror that state. This is called co-regulation. Before children can regulate themselves, they need to regulate through us. And in that moment, watching that Japanese mother on the street, I realized something a bit painful. I had spent so much time trying to control my child's behavior, without ever realizing how much my state was controlling his. That's why this secret matters so much. Your calm isn't just being patient. Your calm is literally shaping your child's brain, teaching their body what safe feels like. So before I could teach my child anything, I had to learn emotional grounding myself. This is where the real transformation begins. And as I learned to stay calm, I realized something else even more powerful. Children don't listen to your voice. They mirror your behavior. Here's what surprised me most about Japanese parenting. Japanese parents don't tell their children to be responsible. They show them quietly, consistently, every single day. For example, instead of saying, "Go clean up your toys," or "Line up your shoes neatly," a Japanese parent usually starts by doing the action themselves. I watched a mother in Japan walk into her home, take off her shoes, and gently place them together at the entrance. No lecture. No, "You should do this too." She simply modeled it. Then she looked at her son, smiled, and said softly, "Let's help our shoes rest nicely together." Not a command, an invitation. And because the tone was respectful and calm, the little boy naturally copied her, not because he feared consequences, but because it felt normal, something we do in our family. I saw this everywhere. A mother quietly wiping the dining table before inviting her daughter to help. A father folding his coat neatly before letting his child fold theirs however they could. Parents speaking softly to each other, even when stressed. Parents bowing slightly when apologizing to their own children. Not once did I hear, "Why are you always messy? Do it right," I said, "Clean up." Instead, Japanese parents create an environment where respectful behavior is simply the rhythm of daily life. Children don't feel forced into chores or routines. They grow up surrounded by responsibility, so they adopt it naturally. And that's when I realized, children don't become disciplined because we demand it. They become disciplined because they live inside discipline, modeled gently, day after day. This is why Japanese kids often follow routines without resistance. These routines were never introduced as rules. They were introduced as connections, rituals, and shared moments. And the more I watched Japanese parents model these gentle, respectful routines, the more I realized something even deeper. Children in Japan don't just copy behavior. They copy values. When they see their parents act with care, they begin to understand something essential. My actions exist in a world bigger than just me. And that's when I learned one of the most beautiful parts of Japanese parenting, a mindset that quietly shapes how children treat others, how they participate in the world, and why Japanese children often behave so thoughtfully even at a young age. This brings me to the next secret: raising children to be thoughtful of others early on. One afternoon in a small Kyoto cafe, I saw a little boy yelling excitedly while waiting for his snack. His mother didn't snap at him or say, "Stop being loud." Instead, she gently placed her hand on his shoulder, bent down to his eye level, and whispered, "There are people resting here. Let's help keep this place peaceful." It wasn't a scolding. It wasn't shaming. It wasn't even correction. It was simply guiding him to see the world around him. And the amazing thing? The little boy immediately softened his voice, not because he was afraid, but because he now understood. In Japan, children are raised within a very subtle but powerful cultural lens. I am part of a community. My choices affect others. This is why Japanese kids often clean classrooms together, serve each other's meals, and help younger children without being told. Not because they are obedient robots, but because they genuinely feel connected to the group around them. What struck me most was the tone Japanese parents use when teaching empathy. Not, "You're disturbing people. Why are you being rude? Can't you behave?" But rather, "Let's take care of the people around us. Let's keep this space peaceful together. Let's be gentle so others feel comfortable." It's always, we, never, you. The message is clear but kind. You are part of something bigger. And your presence matters. This simple shift from correction to collective responsibility helps children develop empathy not as a rule, but as a natural instinct. And once a child begins to understand empathy, something beautiful happens. They start wanting to help. They start wanting to contribute. They start wanting to be gentle not to please others, but because it feels right. And that realization leads naturally to the next secret, one that builds on this sense of belonging and turns it into genuine responsibility. Learning through experience, not punishment. How Japanese parents let experience teach the lesson, gently, naturally. After watching how Japanese parents cultivate empathy through gentle reminders like, "Let's help keep this place peaceful," something else in their parenting philosophy became beautifully clear to me. They don't rush to correct behavior. They don't jump in to prevent discomfort. They don't use shame or punishment to teach a lesson. Instead, they let reality teach, while staying close enough for the child to feel safe. I once saw a little girl in Japan refusing to wear her jacket on a cold morning. In my old habits, I would have said something like, "Put it on now. You'll get sick." But the Japanese mother simply replied calmly, "Okay, let's try without it." They stepped outside, and after a minute, the girl shivered and rubbed her arms. Her mother didn't say, "See? I told you so." She quietly held out the jacket and whispered, "Here you go. I brought this for you." The little girl slid her arms in without resistance. No power struggle, no threat, no punishment, just an experience, and a gentle invitation. Why does this actually work? Here's the gentle science behind it. Children's brains store felt experiences far more deeply than lectures. When a child actually feels the cold, or feels the water spill, or feels the discomfort of a natural outcome, their brain builds a real connection between action and consequence. Punishment activates fear, natural consequences activate learning. One closes the child's heart, the other opens their awareness. And because the mother stayed close, warm, and calm, the child never felt wrong, she simply understood. And Japanese parents do this with remarkable consistency. I saw it again and again. A child spills water? The parent hands them a small towel and says, "Let's help the table get dry again." A child forgets their toy? The parent says gently, "How can we remember next time?" Just natural experiences and supportive guidance. As a mother, I realized something painful but freeing. I was stealing learning opportunities from my child by jumping in too fast, yelling too quickly, or fixing everything for him. Japanese parents don't rush. They don't panic over small mistakes. They let life be the teacher while they remain the guide. And once a child begins learning through experience, instead of fear, they start developing something beautiful, inner responsibility. And that leads naturally into the next secret. Because responsibility doesn't come from maturity or age, it comes from something much more powerful. Responsibility grows from trust, not age. How Japanese parents build inner responsibility by letting children feel capable. After seeing how gently Japanese parents let natural consequences teach the lesson, I noticed something else, something subtle but incredibly powerful. Japanese children are trusted with real responsibility, much earlier than in many other cultures. And it's that trust that builds confidence, self-worth, and the desire to contribute. One morning in a neighborhood in Japan, I saw a little girl, maybe 3 years old, holding a tiny watering can. She walked from plant to plant outside her home, pouring way too much water on some, barely any on others. But her mother didn't step in, didn't correct her, didn't say, "You're spilling too much. You're not doing it right." Instead, she smiled warmly and said, "The plants must be so happy you're taking care of them." The little girl's face lit up with pride, not because the task was perfect, but because she felt capable. She felt useful, trusted, important. And that feeling is what fuels responsibility. Children develop a sense of responsibility, not by being told what to do, but by being shown that they are capable of doing it. When a child is given a meaningful task, even a tiny one, their brain releases dopamine, the "I can do it" chemical. Their confidence grows, their willingness to help increases, their identity shifts from "I'm messy" to "I'm helpful." And here's the key. Responsibility is not something you enforce. It's something you awaken. When we do everything for our children, their brain learns, "Mom does it better. I can't." But when we trust them with small, real tasks, their brain learns, "I'm capable, I matter." I saw it over and over again. A toddler folding washcloths, crooked but proud. A preschooler wiping the table after dinner. A 4-year-old carrying their own backpack to school. Children serving lunch to their classmates in school cafeterias. What shocked me most wasn't the tasks. It was how the adults reacted. No perfectionism. No, "You missed a spot." No redoing the job in front of the child. Just gratitude, just encouragement, just trust. As a mother, I realized I wasn't building responsibility. I was building dependence. Because I was fixing the bed after my son tried, wiping the table again after he cleaned, organizing toys properly after he helped. And every time I did that, I unintentionally whispered, "You're not good enough. I don't trust you to do it." But Japanese parents teach the opposite. Your effort matters more than the outcome. Once I shifted my mindset, My son started helping more, not less, because children rise to the level of trust we give them. And here's the surprising part. When children feel capable and trusted, they also become more cooperative. Which brings us to the next secret. One that explains why Japanese households rarely turn into daily power struggles. Firm boundaries. Gentle voice. Why Japanese children cooperate without yelling, threats, or power struggles. After watching how trust builds natural responsibility, I began to notice another pattern in Japanese parenting. Something small, but unbelievably powerful. Japanese parents hold firm boundaries, but they deliver them with a gentle, respectful voice. It's this combination that keeps children from feeling powerless, while still helping them understand limits. I was sitting near a playground when a mother told her son it was time to go home. Instantly, he shouted, "No, I don't want to leave." In my old parenting habits, this would have become a battle, dragging, threatening, bargaining, or raising my voice. But the Japanese mother did something different. She knelt beside him and said quietly, "It's time to go now. Would you like one more slide? Or would you like to say goodbye to the swing?" Her tone never changed. The boundary didn't move, but she gave him a choice. A small piece of control inside the limit. And within seconds, the little boy calmed down. He chose the swing, gave it one last gentle push, and walked home peacefully holding his mother's hand. No fight, no tears, no tension, just softness inside structure. Why does this actually work? Here's the gentle science behind it. A child's brain is wired to seek autonomy. When they feel forced, controlled, or trapped, their nervous system enters a threat state, resistance. Yelling, running away, shutting down, pushing back harder. Not because they're bad, but because they feel powerless. But when we offer choices within a boundary, even tiny choices, their brain relaxes. Control is shared, connection is preserved, cooperation becomes possible. With a gentle tone and a firm boundary, children feel safe enough to listen and supported enough to grow. This is the sweet spot of Japanese parenting. I observed this so many times. A child refuses to brush teeth. It's brushing time. Would you like the strawberry toothpaste or the mint one? A child doesn't want to tidy up. Let's clean together. Would you like to pick up the blocks or the books? A child doesn't want to get dressed. It's time to get ready. Do you want to start with your shirt or your pants? The limit stays firm. The tone stays gentle. The child stays connected. This is the kind of leadership children trust. I used to think that being a strong parent meant having strong reactions, raising my voice, explaining endlessly, or repeating the same instruction 50 times. But watching Japanese parents taught me something else. Strength isn't in force. Strength is in calm consistency. The limit doesn't need to be loud to be respected. It just needs to be steady. And here's the most beautiful part. When children feel heard, they don't need to fight you. When children feel safe, they learn to soften. And when children feel guided, they follow your lead. And all of these pieces, the calmness, the modeling, the empathy, the trust, the boundaries, they all flow into one final secret. The secret that holds the Japanese parenting philosophy together. The secret I asked you to stay until the end for. The secret that changed absolutely everything for me as a mother. Amy, connection first, discipline later. The heartbeat of Japanese parenting. The invisible thread that makes everything else work. By the time I had seen all these beautiful patterns, the calmness, the modeling, the empathy, the trust, the gentle boundaries, I kept wondering, where does all of this come from? What holds it together? Why do Japanese parents parent this way so naturally? And then, I found the answer. It's a word the Japanese rarely explain, but they live it every single day. A word that carries generations of wisdom. Amy. Amy is the invisible emotional thread that binds a child to their parent during the early years. It's not just attachment. It's not just affection. It's not helicopter parenting. It's not spoiling. It is something far deeper. A sacred closeness that tells a child, you belong here, you're safe with me. You matter, even on your hard days. I hold space for all of you, not just your good moments. Japanese parents believe something profound. A child doesn't need independence first. They need closeness first, and independence grows naturally out of that closeness. I saw a little Japanese boy trip and drop his toy on a quiet street. His lip trembled, his eyes filled with tears. He looked around, scared, overwhelmed by the moment. His mother didn't say, "You're fine," or, "Stop crying." She knelt down, opened her arms, and whispered, "And unbelievably hard, and you're showing up. That already makes you the parent your child needs." Remember, you don't need to master all 7 Japanese secrets at once. Just begin with one small shift, one softer moment, one slower breath. That's how transformation happens. Quietly, gently, day by day. And if you're here, learning, growing, trying, your child already has what matters most. A parent who loves them with presence. If this video helped you breathe a little easier, please like the video and subscribe to Mindful Parenting. This is where we raise emotionally wise, confident, deeply connected children. Together, you're not alone on this journey. And you're doing better than you think. I'm proud of you. Your child will be, too.